welcome to this video here. We will simulate a healthy fight and let's see right away how it works. So first of all, I load my hero of heroic rank. He is a hero with Lumina traits. So for those watching this video much earlier, there will be some things you won't find in the manuals you have available because I was testing a bit how this character works. What interests us, however, is understanding combat. So let's set up a typical combat scenario. Let's put in a forest, let's add some enemies, probably some bandits. Okay, at the very moment that the encounter officially begins, the initiative order is established. I will be the one to initiate the combat sequence. The enemies have a predetermined and fixed initiative value already set for them. This is specifically to ensure the GM doesn't have to spend unnecessary time manually rolling or generating initiative for every single enemy. Of course, every game master or narrator can do as they see fit. And now let's add our character to the initiative. I got a 10, so the player draws a card, adds their agility value, and then the card goes to the bottom. Perfect, so I'm first in the initiative order. I'll draw 5 cards to start the combat, and they're done. Not bad at all. Here are my specific techniques. These are my combat techniques, and they look absolutely perfect. So to get things moving, we shall start, and I would begin the process by carefully setting the scene for everyone here today. Trying to blind the enemies to make things harder for them. Then attack, so I declare the use of illusory shield and I send it in the chat. That way, if I'm playing with the group, they know I'm declaring this technique. I place my primary card face down, so I select it. It's a technique that targets 4 enemies, so I target all 4 bandits. Let's take a look at the bandits sheet. The bandits respond with their first attack, Assault, Lightning Strike. Here we have a pattern. The pattern is Assault, Lightning Strike, Blow, Sneak Attack, Quick Shot, and then Assault, Lightning Strike, Sneak Attack, and then it repeats. This is the attack pattern. For defense, for convenience, if you're playing, for example, in solo play mode, the enemies will always use the first technique they have available to defend themselves, because usually it's their, let's call it, basic attack. So what information do I need? These units definitely have the pack strength ability, so as long as there are at least 2 or more friendly allies on the field, they get a +1 bonus to their techniques. This specific technique is played on clubs where they already have a +2 modifier, so the card I draw will actually have a total +3 bonus for each individual enemy that has to defend against my technique. So to do a quick recap of the process, first I carefully choose my specific technique, then I select the intended targets, those 3 right there, and I pick my primary card, placing it face down. Now the enemies will prepare their own response to the technique I have just played. So the first one will flip a 7 plus 3, that's 10. My ace is a 14 plus spades. Let's see how many spades I have. Because I don't remember, I have a +1, so right now I have a 15. So the enemies need at least a 15 to tie. So Bandit 1 takes damage, and the effect, because my card is an ace or a face card, 8 plus 3 isn't enough, 10 plus 3 isn't enough. So all 3 of these bandits are going to take some damage now. Since they are currently at the heroic rank, I will use that as a specific reference point. Let's say 1 is the base damage for 2 of them. Actually, wait, we can just use our calculator for this. So let's set the base damage value to 1 and go from there. Do we have any bonuses? No, it only applies 1 effect. However, since our primary card is an ace, they all take 2 damage. So let's mark 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage, and we apply the blinded condition to all of them. Perfect. The condition will last for 2 scenes, so they'll have -5 to their DDC, so I should be fine, at least for a couple of scenes. I have to discard the card. Perfect. Alright, let's take a look at the bandit. This is the bandit we're facing. 1. Okay, he follows his usual attack pattern and decides to use a lightning assault directly on me. Now, I really have to carefully choose how to defend myself here, but the problem is I don't have any great cards in my hand right now. I suppose I can use... I don't have any figures, so the self techniques are useless, because if I don't have a figure, I can't activate the effect, so I'll definitely have to choose an attack card. I have a 9 of diamonds, the same suit as Thrust, Relentless. Obviously, I need a thrust weapon, which I have on my character sheet as a requirement for the technique. So I'll defend myself with this one. Let's send it in chat so we remember it. I'll use the 9 as my primary card. Now let's go ahead and generate the enemy's random card. It is a 7. Then we subtract 5 from that for being blinded. So I win. I discard the card and he takes 4. But since the suit, we always develop it with the characteristic base damage 4. The suit is paintings, but I don't have Blessed Seeds. No, I don't have Blessed Seeds paintings. So I'm not going to multiply. Oh, yes? Yes, no, I'm not going to multiply. Okay, so that's 4 damage to Bandit 1. Perfect, now it's Bandit 2's turn, who will do the same thing. Do I get to choose how to defend myself? Probably still with Trust, Relentless on him as well. And I'll choose an 8. 4, I win again. Deal 4 damage points and then apply it. Now it's Bandit 3's turn. He'll always choose the technique. Lightning Assault. I flipped the first card, his, but anyway. 4, he has -5, so I still don't win, so discard the 4 of diamonds. Okay, that's 4 damage. If I had chosen diamonds as my blessed suit, I would have done 8, 8, and 8 damage. That wouldn't have been bad. The scene ends. I draw a card. Even though I have a huge advantage, to be honest, the situation isn't looking great right now because I'm running low on cards in my hand. So in this case, it would definitely be the best move for me to simply end my turn here and draw an extra card, especially since I currently have fewer than 5. But I really want to take a moment just to show you exactly how important having cards in your hand can be. Actually, with 2 and 3, I'm still terrible, so no, I still choose to pass the turn and draw a card. Okay, it's the Bandit 1's turn, who this time will act according to the pattern for simplicity. But I repeat, if there's a narrator, they can choose whatever they want. He'll do body sneaky with flowers where he has a +1. I'm going to defend myself with flowers, but I have nothing, so the 5 won't be used. Attack. Low, yes. Primary card, but oh well, actually no. Thrust, Relentless. Anyway, Thrust, Relentless. Anyway, he still has -5. 7 minus 5 is 2. Okay, I win. So that's 4 damage to the Bandit. 1. Perfect. It's the Bandit's turn. 2, who will always choose Sneak Attack. I'm out of choices, so I'll always defend myself with Thrust, Relentless, since it's the only card that deals me more damage. This time, the Bandit successfully succeeds with a high-value face card. So I get terrified and stunned for 2 scenes, and he deals me 2 points of damage. That is 2 points of damage, and they are now frightened. Absolutely perfect. Okay, frightened. That's really bad for me. I've marked the 2 damage, I think so. So we discard this one. Now it's Bandit 3's turn, always sneak attack. I only have this one, so I'll always choose Thrust. It looks like Jack wins this round for him, and since it is the Jack of Spades, it unfortunately does not multiply the total. Consequently, I only take the 2 points of damage, and since I am already frightened for 2 scenes, even though I successfully pulled off a sneak attack, I cannot suffer that same effect while it is already active on me. Therefore, I will discard this card, and he deals me the 2 damage. Perfect. The scene ends, and Blinded also ends because 2 scenes have passed. At the end of the scene, I draw 2 cards because I have no cards in hand. Okay, that's interesting, but now I have to deal with it. If I go on the attack, I'll definitely take damage from the last one. If I truly want to defend myself effectively from all of those enemies, then I will most likely choose to simply pass my turn for now and draw an extra card. Now it is officially Bandit number 1's turn to make a move. I'm not doing too badly with my health, so it might not be that interesting to hide and heal for 2, but it could actually turn out to be very interesting, especially since we happen to have an ace in our hand to go ahead and do the Relentless Thrust, which is going to deal 4 points of base damage regardless. So now he is coming at me with the attack. 3. So quick draw. I defend myself with... Still with the Relentless Thrust. Let's see, he uses quick draw, a jack. Quick draw is on diamonds. He gets +3 because of +2 and +1 from his ability. Pack strength, so that's 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 14 +1, if I'm not mistaken. No, 14. Wait. It's a tie. Nothing happens, and that's really bad. I was convinced I had +1 to agility. Quite obviously, I'm not strictly following the specific specializations or the psychology behind them, because when I am playing solo, I find that I constantly have to keep a very close track of both the enemy movements and my own status at the same time, and I try to make things easier for myself, at least to show you, let's say, the basics of combat. Right at this particular moment in time, I haven't had any specific combinations or special abilities to be able to perform complex combos or other advanced maneuvers of that nature. Let's see if a bit later on in the game we happen to come across something useful to help us out. It's Bandit 2's turn. I'm not defending myself. Bandit 2 will obviously always use Quick Shot. Since Quick Shot deals 3 damage, I'm going to go ahead and mark down 3 damage here. The other Quick Shot, I'm not defending myself. Really bad. Really bad, because Quick Shot is on diamonds. He played ace and ace of diamonds, so if I go to get my damage calculator, I have 3 damage plus the Blessed Suit plus the primary card, and I felt those. So you also have to be careful about taking damage just to keep your cards, because it's not always a great idea. I'm going to take these 12 damage to the face. My health drops badly, and that's the end of the scene. I go to draw. In the meantime, the condition is gone, but still, I didn't attack. So, alright, let's draw ourselves a new card, which is a king. As you can see, I have a total of less than 5 points. So I will pass once again, and now I have 2 kings, which is great. This way we can clearly see how this combo works. Bandit 1, following the pattern, now chooses Assault again. Lightning fast, I attack him with a Relentless Thrust, choosing the King of Diamonds as my primary card. He flips a card for the counter thrust. Now, for the king, there is some bad news, because he gets a +3 bonus, since both of his allies are still alive. So, his total would reach 13, 14, 15, and 16. I, on the other hand, have a 13. It's my turn again to choose the combos, so this is the provisional total. When we've revealed the cards, the provisional total is that he would win. I choose to make a pair, so I add a support card since I have 2 kings. Obviously, the combos have predefined combinations, so 2 of a kind, 3 of a kind, all poker combinations except for 2 pairs. By doing this, I have 26. 26 against 15. If I remember correctly, against 16, I win. And my primary card is still of the technique suit, but I don't multiply it because it's not my blessed suit. However, I apply the effect, which I don't actually need since I'm not considering resistance, and besides they don't have it, resistance and absorption of the target. No, just resistance. I misspoke, not absorption. Only resistance, so the pair gives me +1 base damage. So if I use the calculator, my technique does 4 damage, +1 from the combo, so a bonus of +1 base damage. I do not have any other bonuses, unfortunately. If I had the Blessed Suit in diamonds, I would have done 10 damage. Unfortunately, I built the character just to try things out, so it is not very efficient. And so I only deal 5 damage to the first bandit. This is going to take a while. Okay, the second bandit attacks again with initiate the assault, Colminio. I'm starting to exhaust my supply of available techniques right now. I'm running low on techniques. I didn't play it very well, but that's fine, because if I showed you the ideal character in the ideal situation, it wouldn't be realistic. So how does a non-ideal character behave? Maybe one built by someone who still needs to absorb the game's information. Well, this is how. They're getting slapped around by 3 bandits, which are still 3 creatures. And they make me burn through a lot of cards if I want to defend myself. Anyway, I don't defend myself from this creature's attack. I'd say it's going terribly, really badly, because it's an ace, not an ace of suit. The enemies have a blessed suit with all the techniques. So even if it had been the same suit, it would have doubled the damage anyway. In this case, it still doubles it. Because it's an ace, so it deals 6 damage to me. Last bandit, I don't defend myself. 9 of clubs. Fortunately, lightning assault is diamonds, so it only deals 3 damage to me. But there was the effect if it acts before the target. In this scene, the technique would have triggered first when the ace was used, adding 1 to the base damage. But no, they all react afterwards, so this effect is null in this case. End of the scene. I decide to change 2 cards. So I shuffle 2 cards back into the deck and draw 2. Worse than going at night. The scene starts again and I pass. Pair of 5s, not bad. Let's see what we can do. It's the bandit's turn. Following the pattern, he'll use sneak attack. I want to see if I have something. Siren Seal. The target loses their innate ability for 2 scenes. I can't activate the effect, but I can deal damage with the Blessed Ash because I have a 5 of spades. So I'll choose this technique. We always send it in the chat just to show it in case there are other people playing with us. I choose my primary card. He goes to flip the attack card. Sneaky. Okay. 13. 13 plus 1 for resistance. Because the technique is clubs, 14. The problem is that maybe we don't have +3 anymore. No, we have +3 to charisma, +1 to intelligence. So even if I paired it with the other 5, we'd have 5, 5, 10, +1, 11. And I think we just took those right in the face. Bad. So, looking at the board, we take 2 points of damage, another 2 damage, plus the additional effect, which was, if I remember correctly, the frightened condition. Let's see here. Yes, that is correct. We are frightened for 2 full scenes. Frightened means I can't act on my turn. I can only act on my turn if I pass a test, so I can defend myself. It's hard to defend myself with so little health. And with these bad cards, but we always try anyway, they're going to use Strike again. During this sneaky attack, I use my Relentless Thrust card. I play my 5 while he counters with a 4, but he has a +3 bonus. So my 5 plus 0 is completely useless. Consequently, I take the damage, which is 2 points from that sneaky attack. terrible, my health drops. He also takes a hit, we try again with my 4, he wins another 2 damage. Fortunately, they're not face cards. End of the scene. I draw 2 cards because I have no cards in hand. Okay, it would be nice if I could act, but I can't do it. I'm going to pass the turn over and draw another card for myself. It looks like they are really starting to run out. I need to figure out a way to manage to do something truly concrete and impactful right now. Blade Dance isn't great because it's on diamonds. My question is, why did I take 2 diamond techniques if I don't have the blessed suits in that skill? A few things would have been different, but it's also fair to see a character that's not performing well. The Bandit. I start again with Lightning Assault. It's my turn, and at this point I'll use at least one technique. No, I have to. Using an ace to heal myself for 2 isn't ideal, eh? But the benefit is that I would become hidden. This means I can't be targeted. Yes, let's use this to survive. Otherwise the fight would be over for me. Unfortunately, that is a failure. He draws a card from the deck, but the 7 simply isn't enough to succeed. Or in any case, since it's a technique with a range of self, I still manage to become hidden and heal myself for 2 points. Then we move on to the showdown. Since I have an ace, so 14 plus 1, 15, and he has a 7, I still win and cancel his attack. So while he's attacking me, I probably vanish, and his attack misses. So we discard this card and heal for 2. Perfect. Now I'm hidden, so let's give ourselves the hidden status. So in theory, actually not just in theory, since they don't have any special abilities that negate this effect. Being hidden means they can't attack us, so they simply skip their turn because they can't do anything. At the end of the scene, our frightened one probably leaves. I need to put a counter on it. We can choose whether to draw an end of scene card or swap 2 cards. I decide to draw 1, 7, 7, 8, 9. Let's build a combo of scale at the end of the fight. My turn. I'm still fully dressed in costume for a scene. Yeah, so I can draw one for you. If there's a 6 in here, we probably devastated them. Because we're gonna do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It would be an epic finale. They look around, not understanding where they are. The healing obviously is single because you become cloaked for 2 scenes, period. You heal 2 HP, so I healed myself. End of scene, I draw 1, tell me it's a 6, another 8. We were actually extremely close to pulling off an absolutely epic ending for this video, but just missed it. Cloaked, it's over. My turn. I can't draw because I have 5 cards in hand, which means I can't pass the turn and draw. The only thing that comes to mind is nothing. It's to try fighting with the cards we have because I don't even have a face card to use camouflage again. I don't have a face card for the illusory pollen effect, so I can only go for damage on our blessed suits, which are hearts and spades. Obviously, I have nothing in hearts, so that doesn't. Unfortunately, that move really doesn't help us out at all right now. We are seeing spades and more spades everywhere, so let's try to keep going forward without breaking our current combo streak. I think I would definitely try to use the seal ability to get through this. These are diamonds. For damage to everyone, it's not much. Okay, it certainly seems as though we are probably dead. Let us go and search around for the 6 right now, so that we can begin the entire simulation process. How the fight would have gone. Let's see here. Meanwhile, let's see if there was a 6. No, there wasn't a 6. All the 6s had already come out. I'm thinking, let's pretend we're healing ourselves. Okay, let's look for a 6 for a moment. This is a 6. Okay. Let's suppose the situation was like this. Okay, that we were attacking everything with blade dance. Since it's diamonds, it's true that I don't have the suit. However, assuming that we actually take the time to make a very well-built character, it would have been incredibly interesting to use a card with the diamond suit as the primary card. So I carefully place my primary card down on the table and launch a powerful attack against everyone else. They must defend themselves, as we previously discussed, using cards like Assault or Lightning, which are associated with the diamond suit. And they have +3, so let's see what the results are. 8 plus 3, 4 plus 3, 2 plus 3. Right at this particular moment, I am officially declaring the strategic addition of my support cards. So, in this specific situation right now, all of them, let me double check for a second because I don't remember. The maximum straight should, well, the straight should add +6 though. I want to be sure, let's say it's a rare situation, ascension-wise. Cosmic 5 consecutive cards of the same suit. No, it's Sanctuary Steps. 5 consecutive cards, but not of the same suit. That gives us +4 base damage, so we go to the calculator. This technique does 2 damage plus 4 base damage. So we'll do 6 damage to everyone. If we were well built, they could have even been blessed, and we would have done 12 damage to everyone. Hypothetically, with 12 damage to everyone, we would have survived because we would have used all the cards, and then we would have been exposed. No, one of them would have died, and then the other 2 would have killed us. So this is an example of combat. If you would like to see an example of combat with a character that has been meticulously and properly built, using techniques tied to blessed suits to be much more effective, please feel free to let us know by writing it down in the comments section below, so that we can create a completely separate and dedicated video specifically for that purpose. Or is there perhaps a specific or particularly challenging enemy you would really like to see faced in battle? In short, let us know in the comments what you're interested in, because we're making these videos for you and to clear up any doubts you might have. I hope the video entertained you anyway, and I'll see you in the next ones. Bye guys.